Far most, we have correspondents in all of the African countries. We go across to talk to them. These things are important because it helps understand the happenings as to how is it in Liberia and how is it in other parts of the continent. But folks, like we said, too many things we're going to look at on the program. Too many things to look at on the program this evening. We actually want to begin with this conversation that we told you we're going to initiate this conversation, and I'm, uh, 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 mhm. Yeah, and so we want to initiate this conversation now. The Lone Star of Liberia today held a 2-2 draw with the Bafana as they are being called, of South Africa. So we're going to bring an analysis of that game. We thought to do it this way because all eyes are directed towards the Samuel Kando Sports Complex on Tuesday, just 3 to 4 days, where the Lone Star will be playing a return leg of that game. And it's important we have a conversation. Many Liberians didn't have a chance to witness the game, so they only listen to result. But we're going to bring you sport journalists in Liberia, journalists that follow sports in Liberia on the platform, where they're going to give you analysis of the game as to the performance of Liberia, the team, their own perspective of the team, the current Lone Star team. They're headed by Coach Ansu Keita. Yep. So we're going to bring you analysis of that game and tell you as to Liberia whether we are prepared as a country to win the return leg. His mhm. Yep. So we're gonna bring you that. I'm trying to get this thing. We want to have that conversation up until 8 o'clock this evening. Yeah, we tend to do it this way. It is very interesting for us. It's very, very interesting for us because, yeah, it's very, very interesting to us. And everyone is like, kudos to the Lone Star. The Lone Star did extremely well, though it's not a result that could continue to. Uh, yeah, so like we are saying, even though it's not a result we wanted, but we are also thrilled. We are excited as a country that we're able to take away the point. And so, President George, we have talked to his official Facebook page and says, congratulations to our national team, the Lone Star of Liberia, for picking up a draw in South Africa in the 2023 AFCON qualifiers. What a splendid performance by our boys. I joined the entire country in celebrating this amazing achievement. And President Weah, yeah, is the one that just tweeted that. Mhm. Yeah, so he actually encourages our conversation. And this evening, I think my producer will have to do everything possible now to have the team share with them. Yeah, you have to bear with us a bit. Yeah, you have to bear with us a bit because we're doing everything possible to bring the guys on. Uh, yeah, we're doing everything possible to bring the guys on. Mhm. We have to bear with us with everything. This conversation will be interesting. It'll be an interesting one because you're going to listen to the analysis of the game. The guy's going to tell you as to how so the extent that Liberia plays. So we just encourage Victor. I think we just have to just take a break while we do the necessary adjustment will be preferable. So we'll take a break and yeah, take a break. Just continue to play that Sekou Sheriff team. So I will do a break and do all the necessary adjustment to come back on. It's important we do it because we want to get everything set to bring this conversation. Yeah, we want to get everything set to bring this conversation on. Okay, all right. This is what we have to do right here. It's on Voice of Liberia issues of today. We continue to do it like this. Today is Friday. It's on a Friday. Yeah, some say the weekend begins on today. Uh, the guys are on my back. Oh my word! Are we set for that? Yeah? Get the sun. Get the sun. Okay.
Sekou Sherry Kami Toto. Sekou Sherry say, Labira is in the bottom Labira. It is a Toto. Bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Sekou Sherry Kami Toto. Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to
Them follow on the show. Yep, just do everything possible to bring them on, and so we can have a conversation. Yep, a conversation relatively to the just in a Lone Star match. We felt the need to do it. Uh, yeah, we do everything possible. Producers are on. Yeah. Yeah. So we are on already. Voice of Liberia 104.1 is right here for you. Too many things we're going to look at the show. On the flip side, at 8:30, we're going to look at this issue about the corruption perception report released on Liberia. The Accountability Lab, Liberia, released its corruption perception report, and part of that report, yeah, the report was they were carried out in five counties. Yeah, 5 counties. The report was carried on in 5 counties. So according to them, there are the report was strategized, into sectors, if you may place it that way, into sectors. We're going to look at that report. I don't want us to go further in that discussion until after this thing about the Lone Star. When we get through with that development, obviously, then we can have a conversation surrounding that report. We give serious consideration to this Lone Star issue because for too long we have failed to qualify for a national, for the African Cup of Nations, and so we want this time, Barbarians. This is what we are yearning for. But there are so many things. It doesn't mean that we draw. So we draw with South Africa means that we will qualify. There are still a lot of things. Currently, Liberia sits there on a table of fold. She has played 2 games, lose 1. Win 1. Draw 1. 2 points. There's 2 goals for and 4 goals against, and part of that as well is Liberia. Liberia has just a point on the table, so Africa is next with 3 points. Is that 3 or 4 points? And Morocco taps the table. So it means that we still have a lot of work to do as a country. That's why we felt the need, we see the importance to bring these sports journalists on the show, where we could have analysis. I know we could analyze the discussion and point to all of the areas. What can we do now as a country? Especially the team and the game. They just ended March. Some of the areas we flopped as a country. How can we double our strategies? So as to ensure that we have a better team, a better representation on the African continent. So it's a very, very good conversation we're going to have. Yeah. A very, very good conversation we're going to have on a program this evening. You see, I continue to have a break in because I'm doing everything possible as well, along with my producer, to bring you guys on. Yeah, I'm doing everything possible so you guys to bring the guys on. This is technology, and we had to expect these things to happen. Oh yeah, Zoom on word. Okay, I think we have one of them. Just bring it on while we are with the other guys. Yeah, now we can. Yeah, bring it on while we are with the rest of the guy. Who's there from the angle? Can you help me with his name? Richmond, right? Okay, Richmond Kelvin Doon is a Liberian sports journalist as well. He works for Fortune TV, I guess. Yep. Okay. He works for Fortune TV. He has joined us on the program. We're going to begin a conversation. The other guys, the rest of the guys have notified me that they are doing everything possible to come on. But Richmond, yes, good evening and welcome. Richmond, are you getting me from there? Please observe, I think the mic from the live there is muted. From my side, check it out.
Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening, Harris Billy. It's a pleasure to be on your platform this evening.
Eddie, thanks so very kindly for honoring our invite in just a very short notice. While the game was on, I can record why the game was on. It was a time I was hitting you up, especially a Desmond first half performance, from the Lone Star. felt the need to hit you up so that you could join the conversation. So thanks very kindly for honoring the invite in the very, very short notice.
Like I said, really, it's a privilege to be on your platform. And as a matter of fact, it's our duty as a sports journalist to always be in readiness to provide the needed information that our audience need.
We're gonna begin. How's the world of sports? We want to look at the current grassroots activities in Liberia, judging from the LFA first division league up until to the third division. You just want to give a little picture about happenings in the world of sport while we are waiting other guys to join us before we can begin our main discussion.
Under the regime of Mustafa Raji, I would say that Liberia, football is taking another trend, and it starts from the grassroots because all of our grassroots league, they are up to task, and our grassroots players. They are being transferred from third division to that of first division. You saw the national county sports meet. So Haji Samuka and few other lads moving on to some of our first division teams. So it tells you that indeed on the watch of Mustafa Raji, the grassroots football and football in Liberia is better.
And they certainly is one is better. Sorry, I'm not really focused on it because the other guys are texting me back to back concerning the conversation they want to join. But this is a thing we want to have a clear picture. Richmond, when we look at the just ended national county sports meet, we're having this initial conversation so as we give time to our guys to join us as well. The national county sports meet ended, a lot of excitement ranging from the group stages up until to the grand final. We followed, we witnessed all of the happenings during the county meet. A lot of attractions on Ford, a lot of Liberians were surprised, but you want to tell us the winner of the county meet, the Nima County. In some instances, people refer to them as the giant of Liberia County meet football. You want to give us just a recap of some of the activities that went on during the county meet?
Well, the county meet, you follow the national county sports meet, and Nima County to qualify to the quarterfinal stage of the national county sports meet. And it was quite interesting qualifying, winning my county, and that of Montreal County to qualify to the final, going against Lofa County, who defeated Nima County in the group stage, and then coming on to the grand finals, to win Lofa County. It tells you that the boys of Mutafana were quite impressed. They were willing to play from the level of support that was given from the Libyans. So definitely the minds were made up to play for the county to ensure that they won the national sports meet for the sixth time.
And then we're going to hold you right there, Richmond, and welcome in John Kissen. John Kissen is a Liberian sports journalist as well. He works for Liberty Radio, 88.1, I guess. Yep. John, a pleasant good evening and thanks for joining on the program. John, are you getting me from my end here? Yeah, bring it on.
I think are you getting me also?
I am getting you.
Are you getting me? Are you
Joe,
getting me?
yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing Achi. Achi, thanks for joining us. I'm getting you. Achi works for Today Liberia. He's a Liberian sports journalist as well. But Achi, we're going to hold you. Let's add John as to whether he's getting us. We continue to ask him whether you are getting us from this end.
Yes, yes, I'm
Yes,
getting
yes,
you.
I'm
I'm getting
getting
you.
you. I'm getting you. All right, thank you. We're going to begin. We have Richmond Kelvin Dawn is who is a Liberian sports journalist. We have Achi as well, and John Kisa. All of the guys are contributing immensely to the world of sports in Liberia. They are working to ensure that sports development is prioritized in Liberia. So, John, welcome to the show. I don't know the situation with John. You have to take him off. That means text him from the back. But bring the next person on. Folks, you gotta bear with us a bit. We doing everything possible to bring the guys on. Once we have them on, we begin a conversation for good. I don't know why, John, but we are not getting you at all. You need to uh, we need to yeah, you need to redesign so that we can have you better than the way you sound on the program. But gentlemen, welcome. Welcome again. Yeah, bring him on. I think he's back. Bring him on. Joe, are you getting me this time? Please look at his mic whether he is not muted. You will know. Oh my word. That's a huge challenge for Rose. I don't know the guys. Richmond is good. Richmond is good. I don't know the rest of the folks there. Achi and John. Okay, bring Thomas on. Thomas Kodoro is on. He's LFA best sports journalist, right? Electronic or radio sports journalist. He's going to introduce himself. Bring him on. Yeah, bring him on. So, okay, we're going to have this conversation at this. If the rest of the guys are not prepared, we'll drop them and take Richmond and Thomas in the meantime until we have the other guys on because their background is actually distorting. We can have a show like this. So we're going to begin round the table. Just leave them on. We're going to begin round the table. We're going to have a introduction. I can introduce you better than the way you do. So we will begin with Richmond. Richmond, in the next 1 minute, quickly just introduce yourself for the audience.
My name is Calvin Don, and I work for television. And I'm also a contributor to the United Methodist weekend sports.
Okay, John, the next person, John Skisen. John, let's hear you quickly. Just introduce yourself for our audience. This is John. It seems that John is not getting us. We will move on. Thomas, welcome to the show.
Well, it's a
Well,
pleasure,
it's a pleasure,
sir.
sir. Talk about what is doing on
Thank you.
Friday.
Your audio is a bit bad. Your audio is a bit bad. I don't know, or you are coming in.
Technician will have to.
Yeah, but I think you have to do it. You sound a bit bad in the way we expect. So, folks, this is what we expect. We doing everything possible. Once we have the guys on, we want to analyze the game. I want to bring you analysis of the game between Liberia and South Africa. These are sports journalists. These are the guys that report on the day-to-day happenings of Liberian sports and sports across the globe in Liberia. And so we want to bring them on to hear from them. Thomas, I guess you are much better, right?
Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's much better. I think I'm getting better in the way I wish it could be. So tell us in the next 1 or 2 minutes, just introduce yourself for us quickly.
I'm Thomas Kojovola. It is 7.9. And I also work for the put on. I'm
And hey, thank you. Though I didn't get your, I don't know, it's better from my end, but Victor, you have to look at it. His audio is still coming in bad. His audio is still coming in bad in the way we expect it to be. And so it's obvious. But gentlemen, with no time to waste because we have gone over pretty close to 30 minutes setting up. We can still get the actual way we want. We're going to begin a discussion as we move along. We will be able to point out to the various areas that we need to work on so we provide a better audio for our audience. We're going to begin first with the Lone Star overall performance in recent time. The both of you have followed the Lone Star in recent times, so she has played at least pretty close to 3 or 4 games before this one with South Africa on today. You want to give us an overall analysis, beginning with Richmond, in terms of the past performances of the Lone Star, judging from the game they held with Egypt was the last game as turned to be corrected. The one with Niger, the one with Senegal, before the one to play with Morocco. You want to give an overall view of the Lone Star?
Well, Harry, you know that international team has been a poor traveler when it comes to point. And on the watchful eye of Peter Butler, our national team, I put up the performance that we went to separate match and we failed to pull up that Liberians were all yen. On day we won against Soccer. We had this month first half. But the end or what Liberians players are made of, and indeed results went for we got that. So it tells you that our football taking another trend. Our players they are willing now play for the national. So we hope we return like for a year in Manila.
And then we're going to move, Kojo, as well. We want to get a word from you. The overall performances of Lone Star over the past time. She has played at least 3 to 4 games before this one with South Africa on today. You want to give us the overall performances of the Lone Star over the past time?
Well,
For the
push with the bottom. Young people.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. So, so, gentlemen, I've just been notified by my producer that, with the exception of Richmond audio, the rest of you guys, your audio is actually bad for the radio. So, what we would do is I will have to call you on the WhatsApp so we get all of you on, because we wanted to do the live streaming, but he's going to tell me that Kojo, you come in at one point in time, your audio is loud, the next time is dropping, and like that you won't put out the right output that we need for the radio. And so we're gonna call you Richmond as well. Let's call all of you guys on the WhatsApp, and so we can have the conversation. Victor, you have to do that adjustment. Like I said, folks, it's gonna be the very promises to be the very very fascinating conversation. These are guys, these are folks who understand. I know I the happenings of sports in Liberia. Yeah, so just save the numbers on the WhatsApp so we get it on. And so we, someone is telling me that I'm glued to the analysis. I want to listen, but the audio is bad. Yep. So we're doing everything possible to get them on. This is technology. We expect these things to happen. You expect to hear these things, the breaking, the breaking pause, especially at this time, it's going to happen. But so be it, no matter the case, our technician is working, my producer is doing everything possible. Victor Johnson is doing everything possible to bring us on. When I saw the men's fees at the time, Lone Star was down 2-0. You know that every Liberian, their whole day was like coming to an end. That's the time I understand Liberia have love for their country. Listen, you see, like I was saying the last time, there are just few things we need to put in place in the country. We just need to understand that no one owns the country than we do. No one can provide a better life and a better livelihood in this country than we ourselves. If we build that mind that we can develop this country collectively, we will win together as a country. This is just all what we need. But trust me, Liberians love Liberia. Liberians are prepared to give their all for Liberia. But you know what we're missing? We've been carried away by the little things. We've been carried away by these little things. This is the only problem of us. If we can rethink that we need development. So anyone who undermines development is not our friend. We need a strong judiciary system. Anyone who undermines undermines the judiciary system is not our friend. If we have a mind that we need we need a Liberia where we will stand for the truth. Anyone that goes against the truth is not our friend. That's all we need in this country. So we need a country like Liberia where when the Lone Star is playing, we give our all in prayer, financially, mentally, physically. I know we give all of our support to the Lone Star. This is the Liberia we need. We had a Liberia back. We had a Liberia prior to the Civil War. We had a Liberia when Liberians hear the Lone Star, when that song is being played. Oh my word. Yeah, during the days when we were boys coming up, when we listened to that song, play Lone Star, play it for us. It rejuvenates our pledge. That's when we recommit ourselves to the Lone Star. That's when we recommit ourselves to the Lone Star that has been printed in the blue background. Gone are those days. Today, you see, not much Liberian is given. When you have that, let me give you the next one. Today, not much Liberians are showing interest, in the country. Today, you see Liberians, we walk around the place feeling very reluctant when the Lone Star is playing. Not much attention is being given to that. All of these things play out. You have to double up. All of these things play out, and so because of that, and many others will continue to experience this thing. But like we said, we will preach the spirit of unity in this country. We will preach the spirit of nationalism, where everyone will stand and be a nationalist. When you are a nationalist, you owe everything to your country. Your loyalty, your obedience, your support, you protect everything that comes out of your country. That's who we are. The World Happiness Report that just came out said Liberia ranked 7 on the list of happiest country on the African continent. Because we are a nation that prioritizes ourselves. We are a nation that supports ourselves. Support don't try to misunderstood what I said, support, right? Support in a way where every one of us come together. Yeah, you just have to call them now. Every one of us come together. We support this country. Yeah, call them. We will join another person. And we can join while we're on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just call them. Yeah, you guys have to be patient. I told you this question is getting interesting. Someone just messaged me and said, we are following a conversation. Why you ended it? No, we didn't end the conversation. We are doing everything possible to get back on. We are doing everything possible to get back on. Once we have the guys sitting ready, we begin the second. Yep, definitely. So, the producer is doing everything possible to have the guys on. Oh my word, it's doing everything possible. Okay, so I think we get them all right. Okay, I think this side is much better. Richmond and Kojo, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much for rejoining us.
Perfect.
This is always be here and talk about what is happening.
This is the audio. This is the audio I wanted, and that's smart.
It's a pleasure to be back on the platform. And like I said to you, we sports journalists are always in readiness to ensure that we give necessary information to our audience.
Mm-hmm. We're going to move now strictly to our main point, the reason why called you guys on. You see, the Lone Star played on today. Some of us who follow sports, we are not rating sports in Liberia, so we want to follow when when there's a crucial game Liberia had. That's the time we follow the sports. So we might not provide the analysis as required by the public until you guys help us do it. And so we're going to begin the game. Lone Stars settled to a 2-2 draw in South Africa. Firstly, to the both of you, beginning with Kojo, is this the result we expected as a country?
Well, as a going to South Africa and getting a draw, massive for Liberia. I was hoping that if you look at it on paper, the South Africans are better than us. Individual players are better than us. In terms of infrastructure development wise for the football, they are better than us. In every other thing, they are better than us. So what we needed was to get a draw, and we got the best of result. This is the best result we have ever had in the last 10, 15, 20 years when it comes to football. This result of getting a joint of Africa is a fair one for us. Even a 2-1 defeat, Liberians who have had something to think on to say, yes, the boys did what they could do. But getting a draw is a plus. This is a bonus for Liberia.
A bonus for Liberia. Richmond, let's hear you. Is this a result we expected from South Africa?
Well, like my colleague said, it is quite a plus for Liberia. Going away, getting a point is quite interesting for Liberia, knowing that we just, fighting for 4 points to qualify to the African Cup of Nations there in Cote d'Ivoire. So it's a plus for Liberia, and we hope that our players coming to Monrovia on the 28th of March, and that is on Tuesday, will ensure that we do the unfinished business to get the 3 points to ensure that we get 4 points to qualify to the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire.
I was reading through and I got to realize that the current South African team, over their last 4 games they have played at home, only Liberia managed to secure a draw. They played against Mozambique and they won that game 2-1. They had another game with Botswana. They won that game 1-0. And the last time they played Sierra Leone, they beat Sierra Leone 4-0 in South Africa. So Liberia is the team of latest to survive, to secure a joy in South Africa. So it proves to some extent that there are progress in the current national team. You want to agree with me?
Yes, if I would speak to it, I want to say a lot of progress has been made, and Nancy Manan Keita being a tactical coach who wants to always play the style of football, that type of football. Many African countries are not used to it. So when countries get involved into it, they will give their opponents a difficult time. And what we saw today is quite a different football in Africa. And that 2-2 draw away from home, it's quite a brilliant one, I must admit. And that is like a dream come true. I was speaking with a sports journalist from South Africa who is very close to the DSTV sports program. He was saying if Liberia can pick up a 3-0 defeat here, then it means they play hard and then they will have to do something. And I told him, you not underestimate Liberia. One thing, I was listening to the sports ponies on the DSTV program, they were mixing out on every other analysis that came about Liberia. They were wrong for the place in the player.
Was it that Kojo, this is one thing I want to hold you on. Is it that the folks there in South Africa had to follow on some of their analysis and everything? It appears to be that the current national team was underestimated by them. They felt that the Liberia often terms that continue to struggle to make her way, on the scene of football, which of course, there are now more perfect performance from the guys as we expect. So because of all of these things, I think people often, they tend to overlook Liberia, tend to overlook the national team. I want to believe that this was the same way the guys positioned themselves in South Africa.
Yeah, certainly you want to talk about it like that because our past record not been good. Going away has not been good for us. We have had dismal performances going away as a national team. And then when you look at it, many of our players are not playing the top league that you find it so easy to draw conclusions from. Like South Africa going against Nigeria, South Africa going against Ghana or Africa. the coaches will not find it difficult to do man mark in that game. The coaches will not find it difficult to know who is the most dangerous player in that game because you find the Ivorians, the Nigerians, you find the Senegalese playing in the top tier of European football. You know the way in which they play. Over Liberia, many of our players playing in Malaysia. Some of them, even if they're in Europe, they are in the second tier of European football. Some of them are in the third tier. They are even on the bench. And so the South African find, or any country going against Liberia, find it's difficult to identify who is the most dangerous players on the national team, who can you cut off, who is the supply line for Liberia. So that's where the South African were missing. At one point in time, I listened to the coach of South Africa. He said Liberia is the most weak team in the zone. At some point in time, once Liberia started to bring in some new breed of players or some popular names around Europe, maybe not in the top tier, but in the inferior league of Europe, we started to raise an issue that this team against us, they are different breed of players.
Okay.
And the players commit themselves already that indeed they are prepared to lay down their life for the national team. And you could see that even South Africa, their fans were not in their numbers today to cheer their team. They even lost hope. South Africans lost hope into their team. The only reason why you could see few handful of South Africans going on that field because what I've gathered so far, many of the fans who turn out today to cheer South Africa are all supporters of Mama Lodi Sundown. The Mama Lodi Sundown is among the top 10 best performing team coming on the continent of Africa. The Mama Lodi Sundown had close to 7 or 6 players into that squad. So their fans went there to cheer them to see what they made of. You know, we didn't see South African tonight in the numbers until it was 2-0. When they make it 2-0, this information I gathered so far, there was some bus of gate. Things had to turn out because you have free entries to go and check. Remember now, they needed to secure a win at home, cap the Monrovia, get the job done by getting a draw and qualify. So when it was 2-0, they allowed their fans to come in and say, this job is done already. We have secured this win. We're going to Monrovia, and then we'll get the job done by getting a draw in Monrovia.
Richmond, let's hear you as well, relative to what has been said. Yeah, Richmond, go ahead. You're sounding far from your phone. You need to come closer. Hello? Oh my word, what is happening again? We lost in on singular on these guys. The conversation is becoming interesting. Kojo, are you there? Ah. Oh my word. What is happening again? You have to pay it. You have to focus on it, and the guys are off again. I think it's that stuff that you open. Yeah, just send it in there. Restart. Just stop it. Open. Hey, folks, we apologize for the break-in. Oh my word, this internet thing will kill us in that be real. We hope we could. Okay, thanks for being by Richmond. Let's hear you. Yeah, Richmond. Go ahead, Richmond. You live. Yeah, you on. Go ahead.
It needs a proper care, and the government of Liberia needs to do everything possible to ensure that we have that all of the you know uh, facility that are needed for the national football team of Liberia needs to be given to the players. You saw the players' performances at the Jets match, and one person I would like to, you know,
have a critic on is our goalkeeper.
Yeah, we're going to get we're going to get we're going to get to that point as well, Richmond. But I'm getting feedbacks from a producer. You have to increase your volume. You come in a bit low than the way we felt it could be. So you need to increase your volume.
I'm lying clear, Harris.
Yeah, I think you're much better.
Hello.
You're much better.
Yeah, Harris. Our national team from the beginning of the match, we had a dismal performance.
Hmm.
Our hello.
Yeah, go ahead, you life. Go on.
We had a dismal performance, and you saw in the 11th minute our goalkeeper gave away a penalty, which you know uh, put the South African in the lead, and so just within another 11 minutes again, and our team were down 2 goals to 0. So that tells you that the South African took 22 minutes to score 2 goals.
Yeah, go.
Well, that we hope that our coach Asu Keita can coach all of the matches and to ensure that the lapses that was done within the match, he can rectify some of the mistakes that was made in the South Africa versus Liberia match. We hope that he can make some corrections to ensure that we get the 3 points at home. Because knowing that Liberia needs just a win here in Liberia to ensure that we qualify to our third African Cup of Nations. And like you said, we will get to the Tomisongo point of the discussion.
Yep.
What I think, from my perspective, he was one of the reasons why we we drew the game with South Africa.
We want to look at now. We are going to cross over to Thomas Kojo Rolai. You're going to the the starting lineup for the Lone Star. There are many concerns coming up, especially at the time the Lone Star were 2 goals down. There are many Liberians on and off the social media were raising concern about the starting lineup. When you have the likes of Tony and Tisdale were on the bench. You have the likes of Mo Sangari as well on the bench, and some other good player Aden joined as well. There are many concerns from Liberians that the starting lineup was not the right one in place, and perhaps a Lone Star could have lost this game on today. There are many concerns who have been directed towards the coach for putting the players on the bench, the likes of Tisdale, Aden Peter Wilson, Mo Sangari, and the rest of the folks. Let's look at the starting lineup of the Lone Star on today. What's your own impression towards that and your own observation relatively to the starting lineup?
Well, obviously, Harris, that's the thinking of the coach. The coach chooses who to start in the game because he understands the game and his plan. The football is about system. If you not see the guy into the game of the starting part of it, or the next level, who are the exceptional to it, every game comes with its own plan and tactics and system. If you see a coach moves to a team, he decides to use certain player as a super sub on the bench because the coach believes that particular player doesn't fit into his system at some point in time. It is the philosophy and it is the thinking of the coach. He chooses who's to start. And I do believe what makes you to be a brilliant coach is the substitution you made. And all of the substitution that was done as manager today, it pays off for Liberia a huge, massive fruit for the national team. Who knows if Tunisia was going to start, he was not going to perform exceptionally. Many of the time we witness Tunisia is a player that when he's being introduced in second half, he causes damage to the opponents. Tunisia, when you start Tunisia, at some point in time, you'll get broken down. So it was the timing of the coach. The coach knew who fit into the system because you had himself with this player, you had several screening and drills. So from that training and drill, we drew a conclusion on who should be in the starting lineup. So what people talk on social media about the coach not starting certain players, you should know for free. Whenever the national team fails to win, they will always blame a there will always be a blame game. People always shift blame. Why SRC did not start? Why this player did not come? Why the coach? You know, at some point in time, people were saying, why did the coach invite William Jabo? Many said William Jabo has been out of active football for close to 2 years. He's just coming back. The coach not supposed to call him. People complain about people wasting. Why say Pachem or not call into the national team? People complain about Seth Harbor. Why Harbor not introduced or not called for the national team? Justin Stemon, who has been very exceptional. They were complaining why did the coach did not start Justin Stemon. So like I told you, it is the philosophy and football is about game playing.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
game is system. If a certain player cannot play into a certain system, the coach will not start them. And the introduction of Toniati's player, Mohamed Sangari, was the rightful, it was timely. The only person I have a bit of problem with is Ali Nuje.
Okay.
Ali Nuje causes serious embarrassment for Liberia. If you play as a holding midfielder, he doesn't play in his role as a holding midfielder that he doesn't use. You always want to find yourself around the number 8 and number 10 position, and it is wrong. As a holding midfielder, your win there is to win the ball or destroy. Whatever time you win the ball, you find the number 8, you find the number 10. That's a rule. Your role is not to be in an attacking position of every time. Then every time your team loses the ball, you create serious embarrassment because you serve as the second line of defense. From the central defender, is coming strictly to the number 6. And I think Nigeria was just my problem. And every time Nigeria on the pitch, you receive a yellow card for being very reckless and childish on the
Sometimes,
pitch. That was just my problem.
at times, people want to consider quickly before we move to Richmond on its own perspective about the lineup. There are times people want to consider, especially when you play that road, you need to be a bit aggressive. You want to be that person that is always in a tackle mood. You know, all of these things play out. So at times, maybe that's how Allen will want to play. That's how he will want to care for himself. But especially looking at he has played in professional leagues around the world, he understands the role being
The
played.
role of a holding Harris,
Go ahead.
the role of a holding midfielder in modern football we know, we see Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is one of the best holding midfielder currently in the entire Europe. The role of a holding midfielder is to win and pass, destroy. The role of a holding midfielder is not to be seen at the front of the number 10. You can't pass the number 8 and pass the number 10. Or you can't pass by the number 8 and be seeing yourself in the number 10 position every time as a holding midfielder. Remember, you are there to do the destroying part when the opponents are in attack. And that's why I'm having serious issue with Ali Nijay. Nijay is always in the number 10 position where he should be sitting in the defensive role, trying to be a help to the 4 and 5, 2 and 3. That's my serious problem.
Let's hear from Richmond.
So when the guy who was in his role, the game against Morocco, he was better. But I think today he was a bit sloppy because he has been out of active football for some months. Since he lost his contract with Astana in Kazakhstan. He was in Ghana. He just decided to come back to Liberia. He started training with the local national team when Coach Keita called on the first breed of players, the 25 local players to start qualification. And I think it was why he was a bit sloppy. But if we give him some time, he will pick up. He has a good reading skill of the game. He reads the ball or he reads the game well. He plays his card well. But today he was a bit sloppy. But introduction of Mo Sangari for a best stable one for Liberia today.
Thank you. We move on to Richmond. Richmond, let's hear your own perspective about the starting lineup. You witnessed the starting lineup. There were too many concerns from the Liberians that why is it that Coach Ansu Keita left out the legs of Adani J, Tony Tistel, and the rest of the guys on the bench. So to some extent, when the country was two goals down, all of the blames were shifted on the coach for his selection. What's your own take on that? Richmond, you need to add strength to your voice. I don't know, you're sounding very low. You need to check your phone volume or something.
Hello,
Yeah, come on.
hello.
Yeah, you much better.
Yeah, Harris. The issue of the starting lineup, I think it was the decision of the coach, and for me, I I had a problem with Oduku, which my colleague spoke about, and you know, Oduku been on a contract for a couple of months now, and the Liberia Football Association had to do everything possible to have him in Liberia to ensure that he started training with the local lads. But I think Coach Ansu Keita should have started Mohamed Sangari in that position to ensure that we had, because mind you, he was playing with Nohan Kane of Scotland, who plays
But
for
Richmond, come here, please. Are you taking into consideration that most Sankari pick up minor injury over the weekend before coming to this game? Are you taking into consideration of
yes.
that?
I do, like you said, minor injury, and most Sangari prior to coming to the national team, he had I think about 2 days of plus to come to the national team. That was just a minor injury, and prior to him coming to the national team, he received a red card for his team, and there were a lot of misinformation or reactions to his red card, and fans from England was referring to him as Black Monkey, and maybe that was the reasons the coach felt that there was some level of distractions on his mind. That was the reasons why he had to rest Mo Sangari. But if you
Okay.
look at all of the players, all of the midfielders that was called to the national team, I think Mo Sangari is one of the best midfielders when it comes to the defensive work. And so, uh, like I said, that was the decision of the coach to rest Mo Sangari. Tony Tisdale, the issue about Tony Tisdale, we all know that Tony Tisdale is now a 90-minute player, and that decision to keep Tony Tisdale on the bench, it was quite timely, because the issue about Terrence Tisdale, I don't know why he had a dismal performance today, because not much was seen from him. All of the pressure, it was centered around Mohamed Kamara, William Jabbar, and that of course casually. The lads did extremely well to ensure that Liberia, who get the needed results they went to South Africa for. But I would tell Coach Ansu Keita, we've come into Liberia and on Tuesday, and the South African, and one thing I will tell you is the South African are coming with a mind that indeed we've lost, and we need to go all out there for a goal. We're not going to defend in Liberia, because any defend,
And,
mind
and,
you,
and, and
what
this is one of the areas I would love to stress on quickly, Richmond. I witnessed the game, especially during the first half. The defense of Liberia was not that much impressive. Perhaps you sport journalists will want to have a different side of what I'm saying, but we saw the struggle from South Africa. I'm trying to get his name. He had a lot of free time in the box of Liberia. I mean, he played to had a lot of very very much beautiful time, in the defense of Liberia, and I don't know. I spare your own take towards that.
yeah, Harris, when it comes to the
I
issue
think
of
that guy was on a bit of holiday today uh, with the defense of Liberia, because when you look at Prince were not impressive today. It was Samson Dwyer who was really doing a lot of work in that defense to put that struggle who plays for AID. Remember, he's the best African player at the moment. He's very swift when it comes to getting the ball at the back of the net. But what happened is, Prince were not up to the task. And this is one area that if we are to get a immediate result in Monrovia on next Tuesday, Coach Asimani Keita needs to stretch on those playing in central defense, the 4 and 5. Spain has to put his game, he has to put his sticky cap up, and he needs to break up his game. If he'll be one of those to save Liberia and take us to our third ever national championship. Because today he was of total waste. He was of total waste today. His performance was bad. I didn't expect it from him after celebrating a birthday 1 day ago. Many thought that he was going to be that prince that everyone know of being a brilliant central defender. But today his game was not good. He was one person that caused a lot of embarrassment for Tommy Sango. That past Sango was a flop in that game. But being one person that caused a lot of embarrassment for Tommy Sango too.
Richmond, let's hear you as well.
Harris, Prince Body, he had a dismal performance, like my colleague said. He wasn't up to task. The Prince Body that I know against Cape Verde, against Morocco, he was brilliant. But today against the Bafana, he had some level of dismal performance, and thanks to something where who was always at his back to ensure that our defense were protected. But nevertheless, Prince Badi is one of our best performers when it comes to our national team. He's been performing a lot and in defense and ensuring that Liberia defense can be stabilized. But I will tell you that uh, there are a few changes that our coach needs to make in the starting lineup.
And
I
and
think the
and,
less of
mhm.
I think the less of and no Hekanen he needs to rest, and if we will want to have a better result here in Liberia, we need to have Mo Sangari and that of Arogo starting in our defensive midfield, because mind you, we have two defensive midfielders, and Oscar Dolly was playing as an infield midfielder, supporting and William Jabor and that of Mohamed Kamara.
And,
So
and, and,
I
and,
think
and, and this is one of the areas I was driving at, especially when you uh, yeah, when you made reference to the starting lineup, as per the recommendation, because at times the coach will want to use, like you rightly place it, his own tactics as to which one of the player to start, which one to bring in at a certain point in time. That is solely the judgment of the coach. We cannot question that. But what can we say? At times when these things happen after the match, every good administrator want to listen to the views from the popular aspect, the performances of the player, and how can we work on them. So, in terms of your recommendation, the both of you, separately, you're going to come in beginning with Richmond. In terms of your recommendation on the improvement of the squad, because next Tuesday we'll be taking on the guys in Liberia, and I'm confident that they will come with a fixed mind that the Liberia overlook is not the Liberia we're going to meet. So we will have to put our teams in order as well. So we as a country, the Lone Star will have to do everything possible to make sure that we can produce the best result. So you're going to tell us, as per your own recommendation in terms of the squad, what the changes needed in the squad, or should we maintain just the same way we did in South Africa?
well, like I said to you, Harris. Firstly, I will start with the goalkeeping coach, Tomin Sango. He has a lot of work to do, and he needs to work on Tomin Sango. And Nathaniel Sherman, sorry, Nathaniel Sherman, he have a lot of work to do with Tomin Sango, because if you look at the goalkeeping of Tomin Sango today, it was very, very poor. All of our goals we considered came from Tomin Sango errors. So, uh, what has been the weaknesses of Liberian goalkeepers is the issue about corner kick and the crosses within our backyard. You saw the corner kick that we considered the second goal from Tomisongo ball crossing, and we never had Tomisongo in a position to save us, and indeed that player of South Africa came there and got the goal for South Africa. that has been one of even the issue of Ashley Williams and other goalkeepers that have represented Liberia on the international scene. The issue about crosses within our in front of our goal has been something very important that we need to work on. You saw it today, Tommy Songo, you know, had a very uh, dismal performance, sorry, and the ball crossing within our goal, and he cannot destroy it to ensure that either he goes for a corner kick or he go infield, and it resulted into a goal. You saw the very first attack South Africa had, Tommy Sango coming out very poor, and which resulted into penalty. I think Nathaniel Sherman needs to do more than what he's been doing with Tango to ensure that we get a better result in Liberia. And the issue about the midfield, I think the only substitution we need in the midfield is the issue of Nohan Canning. And Canning, it is true that Canning plays in Europe. He plays for Ross County in Scotland. But I tell you, the replacement of Mose Sangari is quite interesting. Replace Nohan Kane with Mose Sangari, and you play with Aroko. And Oscar Dolly will do the distribution for the team, and William Jago and that of Mohamed Kamara and Charities there uh, is quite interesting up front. And others might be must be saying that why is it we can't start Tony Tester? If you follow all of Tony Tester games for the national team, and all of the time he came from the bench, he performed well. So, from my perspective, I think the coach Ansu Keita, needs to bring Tony Tester in our match here in Monrovia around the 70, 75 minutes to ensure that he puts more pressure on our opponent.
Kojo, let's hear you as well as per your own thought towards the lineup.
Well, ahead of Tuesday game, few recommendations I want to make out to the technical staff, mostly the goalkeeping department that is being headed by Nathaniel Chairman. Chairman has a major problem. He needs to talk to the man who is representing in the pitch at the moment. Thank God the entire Liberia, our qualification to Africa is just upon you. That was once in the hands of Jane Galley. When we went to Congo, pardon me, not Congo, Tunisia, it was in the hands of Jane Galley. We were with 4-1, Liberia and Togo. Coming Tango, you had the chance of qualifying us to our third ever Nations Cup. At the 8th year, we played a 2-2 job. That was very stopping on your part once again. And this time, you had another opportunity to write your name in the history book of football in Liberia to take us to the Nations Cup. My recommendation here is Tommy Sango needs to be talked to. Tommy Sango needs to be advised. Tommy Sango needs to be told how important he is to the success and the happiness of Liberians as we head towards the upcoming election. Remember, elections come with lots of stress and violence. So if Liberians will be happy, most especially the young people, the citizen population will be happy. It's for us to go to our third ever Nations Cup, and this depends on the performance of Tony Sango at home. Today, we are stopping. That penalty was a total giveaway. It was total giveaway by Tony Sango. Nowhere in the world anybody would have expected Tony Sango to have gone to that level to concert a penalty. So I think Nathaniel Sherman needs to talk to Tony Sango. Keita needs to talk to Tony Sango. Then another with attacking foot. The players understand that they have to be clinical. You are playing a game that you need just a win to qualify. Because at what point we set out on our way to Africa, the head-to-head will come. No matter what the result is against Morocco, it's South Africa with Morocco 10-0. We go with miss out, and Morocco with us 10-0. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything that we are going to go to the Nations Cup. So this 3 point in maneuver is of importance to every Liberian that will wear that red, white, and blue, or even those that will stay at home and follow the radio commentary, very media outlet. It's going to be very significant to the country. So Sango needs to be talked to in the goalkeeping department. The players themselves, those in the attacking front, have to be talked to know that they need to be critical. We didn't much of winning double today. Because support. For good is we are coming at home. Mohammed Kamal needs to be talked to. Football is not about selfish dream. It's not about the dream you made for yourself. It's about the dream that the team made for themselves. This was where Liberia fought short at the 1996 Nation Cup. But we just when Bocha was just an opportunity to have just passed George Weah in an open space to get a ball at the back of the net. And we tried to go service, and then Liberia wasted that opportunity. We had to come back, make us back to insult the first stage of the Nations Cup. Kamal, who have made me for himself by just giving an assist, like it was done to the by Stifler. So that needs to be talked to. Because they had a very slow pace in between. One comment who plays in Scotland for Rose County was very slow. We talked to. Willis Jabo needs to understand that he's the flag barrier of Liberia. He needs to get the ball at the back of the net. At times, soccer will not score when you get the ball at your feet. Whenever you possess the ball, you give the number 10 and the number 8 chance to come and close the gap on you to get a return pass. You gave the number 11 and the number 7 to fall deep into the 18-yard box to get a return pass and get the ball at the back of the net. Many will say the reason why Jabo was not because only time he has to jump way deep down into the center circle to get to the ball because the midfielders were not effective at some point in time.
Quickly. As per statistics, statistics I'm reading through from the match. Liberia have more shots on target than that of South Africa. We have like 6 shots on target.
Yes.
And South Africa had 5. So if as per the look of things here, like your recommendation, I think it is important that you guys have to consider this time round shooting for the net itself instead of just placing the ball anyway. Because the thing about it, the more you kick shots, and no goal coming in, you tend to no longer impress your audience again, and that much attention people will want to look at you that way.
And Harris, we will go to the line to talk to the callers or hear from them. I want Liberians to always have in mind that it is not yet over for the South Africans. We are yet to beat South Africa. The last time we played South Africa, that was for the 1996 Nation Cup, and that game ended 1-2 at the SKB Sports Complex. And that game saw us qualifying ahead of the group with 14 points. South Africa finished second, and we both qualified. South Africa should not be seen as a push over or as a jump into this game that is scheduled for next Tuesday. They are coming out in their numbers with everything prepared to die and lay down their life. Remember, the head coach of South Africa said, if he fails to qualify South Africa to the 2023 Nations Cup, he should be slaughtered. He should be killed. So they are coming out, the players are coming out to play for their coach. When players say they play for the coach,
definitely they will play with their all.
They will want to live in their life and say, let's go, whatever happens, whatever the result is, we will go for it. So Liberians do not underestimate the South Africans on next Tuesday. They will come out, they are the better team going into that game. That's why we're going to keep it away. South Africa is the better team going into that game. They will be the better team into that picture until we can qualify from this group.
And then we're going to our last stop quickly before we transition to the phone line. We're going to look at the current group now, and this is one of the areas where I want us to place strong emphasis on before we move to the phone line. Imagine just a draw the Lone Stars secured on today, and Liberians celebrating more than we have qualified for the African Nations Cup. But there are a few things we want to stress up. The country is in a group of four. It is South Africa,
A group of
Liberia,
three. A group of three.
a group of three.
We are in a group of three.
Yeah, a group of three: South Africa, Morocco. It's not Morocco, yeah, Morocco, and that of Liberia. And so, as per
Yeah,
what
Morocco is
yeah,
a lead. They didn't change
and
the
as per what I'm saying, Morocco is 6 points clear, and so from all indication, to some extent, they prove that they have already qualified. As per this thing, we see South Africa the second with 1 point, and Liberia is second as well with just a point. So, currently, what's the fate of Liberia as we speak in terms of how can we decide the fate of Liberia as per qualifying for the African Cup of Nations?
Get a win at the SKD on Tuesday will qualify us. Because the African football says get to hear people go come. What happens to get to hear? So if we come to the game on Tuesday, or we go to the game on Tuesday, and then we manage to whip South Africa for whatever goal difference, we just get the 3 points. Automatically, we are heading to Africa. Because South Africa will be playing the last game before us against Morocco in Johannesburg. Whatever the result is, if they win, we will have a head-to-head record over them. So head-to-head will proceed before goal. For what I have gathered so far from CAF Web. So the fate of Liberia depends on Coach Arthur Keita. Remember, at one point in time, Thomas Kojo had the fate of Liberia to go to the Third Nations Cup for them. At the APS, we missed out. The 2016 editions, we had our own thing in our hand with Thomas Kojo as head coach. We missed out in our Congo where we were whipped 1-0. Now, fate of Liberia are in the hands of Coach Anthony Keita, Tomini Sango, William Jabo, Mo Sangari, and the rest of the people on the national team at the moment. So a win for us will set the pace for us to go to Africa.
Harry,
Yeah, Richmond, let's hear you.
there's a clarification I want to make is that currently, if you look at the table, Liberia sits at second, and South Africa is the last on the table. And indeed, like my colleague said, the qualification relies on the head of Coach Ansu Keita because he is the final decision maker. And we are expected to play South Africa here on Tuesday at the Samokandos Sports Complex in Kingston. And all rest on his head. If I say all rest on his head, it's a decision he's going to make as to who's going to be in the starting lineup and who's going to be on the bench. And from our perspective, we've made our suggestions and we've made some level of recommendations. And so it left with me, Coach Ansu Keita, to make his own decision as to who gets in the starting lineup or who sits on the bench. Because, mind you, Tuesday game seems to be like a grand final for Liberia and South Africa. Anybody who takes the win, indeed, will be joining Morocco to Africa in the African Cup of Nations. But until then, that is yet to be confirmed, and all is left with us. We've gone away and gotten a point, and coming to Liberia, we need a must win. So I think all of the decision is rest on the head of Coach Ansu Keita.
And hey, everything rests on the heads of Coach Ansu Keita. I love the way you guys plays it. It's about time we're going to go to the phone lines to hear from Liberians. But before we do that, there is this last concern. Someone.
Where are we? Hello.
Yeah, I hope you get
You
me.
guys will have to call him back. I'm not getting anyone.
Oh wow, we are getting you. I don't know.
It's okay.
Okay, he says much better. And so, like I was saying, the fate of Liberia to the African Cup of Nations is decided. Will be decided on Tuesday as per the analysis. But we look at how prepared are we now. We went South Africa. We played very well. Yeah, we got the draw we went for. I believe there's a fixed mind that if we can get a 3 point, at least let's secure a point and we can decide our fate. There is this thing quickly, Kojo, and that of Richmond would love to stress out of the minds of Liberians. You sports journalists, I believe you will be the best one to say it out to the public and the rest of Liberians. Since after the draw, there are too many concerns in the public relatively to this African mentality about football because you're playing home, so it means you have the advantage. You're playing home, it means that you can do everything to win the game. Is that belief still working in football that because you're playing home, so I mean you stand a very high chance, 60% or 70% chance of winning the game. Looking at the game will be played behind the scene before the match itself. I mean, these are concerns emerging from Liberians, and according to the president, to use his, his football, like I said, to work around with other footballing, so as to ensure that the game play in the field of Liberia. Do you think that will work up in our case?
And
Harris, I would like to,
are you there already?
to rest the decision of Liberia's qualification on the head of the chief patron of sports. It is true that indeed he's one of the familiar names in Africa. He has an influence when it comes to decision making. But mind you, this is a competition that we're going into where everybody have an equal right, and it is based on your level of performances that will qualify you to the next stage. So I don't want you to mention the chief patron of sports
Mm-hmm.
being one of the issues of Liberia having an edge to qualify. Because mind you, if Liberia should have qualified, mind you, we're not only Liberians that are following this platform, they might hold this as a record and say, oh, I listening to XYZ radio station in
Mm.
Liberia, and there was this statement made that indeed the chief patron of sports was going to play a key role in making sure that Liberia qualifies. What we should be saying as Liberians to ensure that we motivate our boys, cheer them to victory. The needed support from the government of Liberia be given to them to ensure that we get a win against South Africa, go to Morocco and get a draw. And indeed, we will be in Yamasoklo and Ivory Coast.
Kojo, let's hear you quickly before we move to the phone lines.
Well, like you said, the mentality of people thinking that African football, they had best. I want to say no. It was like that. Then many African countries are still winning to my home. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they lose out to get into South. One goal to at home. We saw South Tule playing away from home against Sierra Leone, playing for 2-2 draw. And we saw lots of African countries uh, falling prey to other countries coming away from home, getting just. So I think this mentality. So I think this mentality is not going to work out. I think what I think we need to do is just to fill the SKD Sports Complex this Tuesday. Keep checking their balls. No matter the first result, the matter the result, keep checking until the 90 minutes over totally. That mentality is not working anymore. Something like that here. If you are working abroad, as soon as I won away from home to think in the time qualifier. So it's not working anymore.
Indeed, it's not working anymore, guys. You listen to two of Liberia's sports journalists analyzing the just ended match between Liberia and South Africa. Lots of emphasis they place on the team, especially from the goalkeeping angle. They called on the national team. And the coach to look at that as well. And the attackers need to improve so as to get a desirable goal. All Lone Star need is a win to take them to the African Cup of Nations. Yep, we activate the phone lines now, 0770 907 907. 0880907 Liberians, let's hear from you. You followed up on the game as well. What's your own impression? You listen to the analysis from the guys. I mean, what do you have to say to the Lone Star? We'll talk to the experts in good evening.
Yes, sir. This is Mama G. Bawa from Community Online.
Let's hear you,
Yes,
Manuel.
straight to the issue. The game today, we want to say many things and congratulations to our boys, but actually, Coach Ansu Keita, he need to trust one of the local goalkeepers. Among other than you need to trust like Emmanuel from B Mountain, neither the Darren Judo. When will we get out with Thomas Sanko today or tomorrow? When are he going to die or break a hand before like we get out using Thomas Sanko? The girl with the presence of the girl beyond that defender would never simply let a game. We trust Emmanuel from B Mountain. Good. And our left and right back they need to play more football to lay ball or to carry ball. Thank you.
And thank you. We talked to this person as well. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
What I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, my name is Oratius. I'm calling you from the Johnsonville, Oratius Bar. The football game or the game of football is not how long, it's how well. The Labrador need to be qualified to the next stage. Then we can do away with Tommy Sango. Tommy Sango is totally embarrassing on the national team. If we continue to rely on Tommy Sango, Luther will never go anywhere. You saw the game today. That penalty was caused by Tommy Sango, and he's not doing no good for the Liberian people. At least our on the field of play today, Luther did extremely well. But it will depend on Tommy Sango, my brother. Take it or leave it. Luther will not be qualified to the next stage. So I advise the coach. At least there are different goalkeepers starting. They can be Tuesday instead of Tommy Sango. Thank you.
Thank you. That's his recommendation. We talked to Mo Koros here. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead quickly. Yeah. Listen to you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Joseph Fatima calling from New Jersey, Carwell. Yeah, the team first day may express and appreciation to the boys of the Ring Star for collecting or commending draw. But the issue I have with the right back and the left back, that's the goalkeeper. Our right back and left back, they need to add some factor there when it comes to our team. But all the game today, the right back and left back, no for any football. As a right back and left back, you need to play what is it. And number two, Tommy Songo, I'm not praying for, but Tommy Songo be the barrier to our success in Africa for the Tuesday. Backman, what I'm telling you.
Thank you. We talked to this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
I'm Vanning from Abacadwa.
Quickly, Vanning.
With all my names right now, pleading with Ansu Keita. Thomas Sango, my next step on the SKD to get in a pool. Thomas Sango now work for us to qualify. At least B Martin keeper should start training hard. That we placing on that day. And I know no number three negotiate. Why Oscar play? Oscar can play in the center. Why Oscar play on the side? Who breaking them? And Mame Kamara, my former classmate from Duja, please. That selfish girl playing a collective football. The team need the glory, now you won't need the glory. And Tony Tisler, you're regularly sorry. Only second half player, the second half player there, you're ready following for you. Let remain just as elite. But Tommy Sanko at all, won't compromise. Tommy Sanko will not enter the sea. Then you never watch the game. Thank you.
Thank you. 0770907907907. 08809079007. We'll take a few more calls and get back to our guys to wrap up. Yeah, but we'll take a few more calls. And one of the things this last caller stress on, we'll have to get back to the guys to emphasize a bit on is the issue about the collective play, because especially when Lunster wins the game, they'll take her to African Cup of Nations. Every one of these players want to make their own name, and that as where it affects every team. If we don't play together as a team, and everyone wants to take the glory. Today, Mo Sangare has been celebrated across Liberia. You know the name Mo Sangare is ringing bell that he the one delivered the equalizer for Liberia, and like every other player want that name, to be the same way, and because of that, it affects every team. So when we get back to our guys, they're going to emphasize on that. How does that affect team preparation when everyone will want to play for themselves? But 07709079007. 0880907 We'll take one or two more calls and we wrap up. Yep, it's on issues of today. We tend to present a show a bit different, given the importance we place on the Lone Star qualifier for the African Cup of Nations. Good evening.
Yeah, really.
Please do our favor, just away from a receiver, my brother. We're getting a feedback.
Okay.
Let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Angie.
Go ahead, Andrew,
Today,
quickly.
for today game, no mistake. All I noticed the coach, the keeper is started today. You know, really performing the way he usually perform. Yeah. And for the middle score, our first goal, he did well, but our players were training for the game.
Okay,
And
that's.
we did like very well. The whole gave the coaches, they didn't do his work the way he think he understood it the way.
Indeed, certainly they gave him chance to do his work. We talk to this person. Good evening.
Yeah, hello.
Quickly, let's hear you.
Yeah, man, Amos, the Chuba, I'm calling from Tobo Village.
Amos, you live, quickly.
Yeah, I congrats my national team today, but I want to know when you probably start selling the ticket and how much is the ticket?
That one, the LFA answer you win doing promotion for them. They will answer you, my brother. Yeah, we're going to do any promotion for LFA. When they won't do anything, they will come to. The one we're doing is really really good for them. We talked to one. We take just a call and call it a day. Yeah, we'll take just a call and call it a day on the show. Yeah, we'll take just a call and call it a day on the show, folks. Yeah. If not, we get back to our guests. Yeah, we can keep waiting. I obviously get back to our guests to wrap up. Gentlemen, let's hear you quickly. Beginning with Kojo, you listen to the callers. Most of them side with you guys as per your analysis. And at the end, they call on the coach to look at the issue about Tomings others, the goalkeeper. He needs to be given serious attention. Quickly, let's hear from you guys. We need to wrap up.
Harris, for the benefit of the caller who just left the line, the tickets are on sale at the Samarkand Sports Complex and the Antoinette Trotman Stadium. Mind you, there will be no tickets on sale during the game on Tuesday. So if you are opting to attend the game, you need to visit the Samarkand Sports Complex and the Antoinette Trotman Stadium to ensure that you get the tickets. Well, as per the quarter reactions, we been saying similar thing about Tommy Sango. One of the reasons for which we drew the game with South Africa this afternoon, it was based on the dismal performance of Tommy Sango. We need a better goalkeeper. Because if you look at all of the performances of the players of Liberia, you will notice that Tommy Sango was one of the reasons why we drew to this match. But nevertheless, I think he can learn from his mistakes and looking at the level of experience he's had. And amongst all of the goalkeepers scored for the national team, Tommy Sango have been, the goalkeeper who more caps for the national team. Emmanuel Gina has been introduced to the team recently. As them to be corrected, today was his first appearance, and even though he didn't go into the stakes for Liberia, but as a matter of fact, the national anthem blew over him, served as be the goalkeeper to Tommy Songo. We've had better performances in our national league, and but I think the decision
Kind Sports Complex. We encourage all of you to go out in your number and support and cheer Lone Star to victory. We are confident. We are confident that we will deliver the necessary results. Until then, we say thanks to all of you that follow us. Samuel David Colley says, thanks, God, for the show. Thanks, Samuel. Emmanuel S. Tukpak Jr., thanks for following. Terry Dean say, yes, good evening. Thanks for following. Roberta Richards, yes, say go Liberia, and this is what we need to do. Scartech International Liberia says we are getting there. Bravo to our national team, well job done, and more especially to the head coach Ansu Keita. Elliot Nyanford is watching as well, and all of you that follow the program will say thanks. Issues of today, we take our regular break to return on Monday. Until then, we say have yourself a God bless day, and this has been a Harris Esbele presentation.